3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Razor from RazorTube coming at you with another Rust Console Edition video. If you guys are new to the channel, drop that sub and like and hit that notification bell for the most up-to-date Rust Console Edition news. Now, today's topic, what we're going to get into is we're going to talk about this update that has saved solo, duo, trios gameplay for the Rust Console Edition. And this is a fishing village guide. Just to give you a tour, we're going to do it on PC because I kept getting murked on the console version because everybody's just hyped out of their mind. But I'm going to show you exactly why this update for the Rust Console Edition has saved gameplay and improved the solo, duo, trio experience for the Rust console, for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, and all the OG consoles out there. All right. So, I had a bunch of fancy signs that I was going to use, but I just liked the scenery on this. But although I am on PC, I will show you the slight differences in the fishing village compared to on the Rust console. Now, obviously, we're talking about the update that saved solo, duo, trios, and this is going to be a fishing village guide for the Rust Console Edition. Now, first things first. All right, so how does this improve solo, duo, trio experience for the Rust Console Edition? Well, I can tell you one thing. Having another source of, or another avenue to go down for scrap in this game in order to use it for the tech tree or any type of thing you want to use it for, I mean, on the Rust Console Edition is very pertinent when it comes to solo, duo, trios. Instead of going inland towards the Zergs, you're going out on the ocean to collect your dividends, if you know what I mean. Anyways, with that being said, there are two types of fishing villages. There's a small and a large. Now, this is on PC, but this literally mimics the console version that's out now. The only difference is in between when you turn and fish to get scrap. There's a slight difference I'll show you via picture. All right. So this is the large fishing village. The only difference is this is huge and it has a ton of stuff. Now, obviously, the PC has quests and stuff you could do. That's not on the Rust Console Edition yet, but who cares, right? We're here just to check out the fishing village in general to see what you could do at it right now on the Rust Console. Now, with that being said, the first shop and my favorite one of all, its named Stinky Pete's. Love it. You can buy stuff here. Now, the only difference between PC and console is for PC, let me bring up the picture so we all know and we can't complain because Razor's on here. Now, here's the picture that I'm showing you. This is from the Rust Console Edition. Whoop, I got rid of it. And boom. All right, the only difference is turning in fish. The top fish is the same. Obviously, the second one's only 10 more scrap you get per 5. The shark, you get 20 more on PC than you do on console. And you can just look at the numbers and match up the fish. That's the only difference. The rest of this will literally mimic the Rust Console Edition. Now, with that being said, what can you get from the fishing village? Well, you can turn in fish to get scrap, so you can go out on the ocean on a rib, a rowboat, or the new vehicle, which is the Kayak. Now, the Kayak here is a deployable that you can put in your pocket and use a hammer to pick it up off the ocean whenever you want, as long as you have a hammer. So my suggestion is, and why it's improved solo, duo, trio gameplay, is because you could literally put it down in the ocean wherever you want and then go fish with it. It doesn't cost you low grade. It literally only costs you a few extra scrap for a paddle in order to operate it. Now, we'll get into that in just a second, but I want to show you the improvements that have been made in order to entice you to play Rust Console Edition more. Anyways, with that being said, all right, at the vendor, scuba gear is just the same on console, but now you can go to the vendor at any fishing village and literally buy scuba gear. No longer do you have to go inland, go do your laps around airfield, get murked by Zergs, or do laps around the roads on the Rust Console Edition. You can now purchase these items at the vendor. Now, obviously, you got a variety of things here. You have, your worms that you could purchase for bait for fishing, but scuba gear is important. You can definitely go out and get wrecked ships. They have valuable loot in them. It varies on what type of loot you get, but fishing in general also gives you loot as well. I mean, literally, I got 2 skulls and some flippers from fishing, and I think that's pretty neat. The fishing village also offers you, and this dialogue here is not on console, so forgive me. It offers you the ability to purchase boats. No longer do you have to go onto the shore to scavenge for a boat or in the middle of the ocean to go gather a rib in order to have a little bit of a quicker advantage on somebody going to oil rig. Now, there's a ton of points I'm going to bring up during this video, but I want to give you all the information that I know while we talk about it. Now, when you go here, typically what you're going to see on Rust Console Edition is you'll be able to purchase a kayak for 50 scrap, the paddle for 25, the rowboat for 125, and the rib for 300 scrap. Now, why is this important and why is this good? It's important because most of the time groups typically hog all the boats, and they used to hog the boat spawns and literally take the boats, park them in a boat base, leave them there. The boat wouldn't despawn, so you'd have to raid the base in order to get ahead and get a boat and then use it for whatever you're doing, either going to get scrap on the ocean, which is very valuable, or, you guessed it, use it to raid or go to the oil rig. Now, with that being said, no longer do you have to do that. You can come to any fishing village and definitely purchase a boat for the prices I gave you with the in-game currency, scrap. Now, why is this important to solo duos and trios? Why is this update so good? Now, although we didn't ask for this update, and a lot of people were like, fishing, this isn't that good. Well, you're wrong. Solos now have the advantage to where they don't have to go inland and hit up monuments for scrap and components and whatnot. They can go out into the ocean by purchasing a boat, and literally you can get a kayak that doesn't cost you any low grade and go out there. The cool thing is when you do have a kayak, if you're by scrap piles and you notice a rib rolling up on you or a rowboat, you could pick up the kayak, put it in your pocket, throw your scuba gear on, and dive to the bottom of the ocean. It provides a safer way for solo duos and trios to gather scrap and those components much needed to face those bigger squads on land, right? It also gets you away from all the chaos. As solos, I can tell you this much. It's a lot harder to navigate on any map, right? You have a big map like this, right? Obviously, this is PC. It's a little bit bigger, but you get my point. You get a little bit of a bigger map like this. You got to go inland all the way to outposts. You got to hit up the roads here. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, I got the scrap. You get all the way here. You go past the launch site and then you get clapped. And somebody takes all your components. And that entire hour of your life was wasted farming for a Zerg, right? So this is a way to circumvent the groups. Now, with that being said, fishing's a great way to get random loot and fish in order to get scrap to progress on the tech tree. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, on each, workbench, tier 1, 2, and 3, you can definitely spend scrap to learn BPs on the fly, which most solo duos and trios need because they can't get the required items on the map because most of the Zergs are farming all the tier 2 monuments, tier 3 monuments. Sometimes they even troll you at tier 1 monuments. They go to satellite and they're like, oh, hey, bye. But with that being said, honestly, this is a good addition to the Rust Console. I mean, the Rust Console community, I know they were a little bit disappointed at first, but you can start to see how most of the items that are offered by these fishing villages gives an advantage back to the solo duo trio type of group, right? So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you think about this update that just hit the PTB? Now, do remember, we are going to have a hard wipe for monthly and weekly April 28th. I'm assuming, since there hasn't been really any glitches or any type of problems with the PTB version of the fishing village, they're going to release this at the end of the month for main branch. Leave in the comment section below what you think about this type of monument, or village rather. And remember, there's a large and a small. Other typical advantages before I go are you could build at a fishing village that is near oil rig. It gives the solo, duo, trios an advantage again. The reason why I say that is because say we have oil rig out at 340 here and you can't find a boat on the shore. You can literally come to the fishing village right next to it, buy a boat, and then try your luck by going to the oil rig. It makes the oil rig runs more doable for those solo, duo, and trios. Now, the reason why I'm saying this update has saved the solo, duo, trios experience on Rust Console Edition is because it gives a lot back to those players, okay? Those types of groups and solo players, rather. Now, what does it do for Zergs? Well, it does make it a little bit more easy for them to, I guess, circumvent finding a boat on the beach or whatnot, so they could just go to a fishing village, purchase a boat, and go raid, at their leisure. But it really is geared towards more of the solo types, duos, and trios. I can't say that enough. I think this update was good. I think what it has to offer is a great thing for those types of people that play Rust Console Edition. And I haven't noticed any major issues with it on the Rust Console Edition. Now, obviously, I did do this on PC. Don't shoot the messenger. I had to do it because I kept getting clap on Rust Console because so many people were at the fishing village. Yeah, those are just some of the tips I have for you guys and how I use the fishing village. Now, I would be really, really excited if you guys would share what you guys use the fishing village or how you use it to your advantage as a solo, duo, trio, just so people know exactly what to do when they get started. Now, also, the good thing is you could fish on a kayak. If you place the kayak a little bit off the shoreline, away from the fishing village, because you can't place until you get, not by TC. Let me use my admin powers here, because that's always good, right? Let me get out here a little bit. Hold on. Really? You're gonna let me place it out here? I gotta place it. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so one quick tip. Bring a fishing pole, bring your bait, and bring your paddle. Now, I am going to do a video on the paddle just by itself because I think that this melee weapon / tool is one of the best in the game, and I'll teach you some of the things that I do in PC, and now I can do it or apply to the Rust Console Edition. But the cool thing is when you get on the kayak, since it's deployable, you can go ahead and fish outside the fishing village. The great thing about this is say if somebody rolls up on you, and they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to clap this guy. And you're like, I don't think so, man. And you want to be in a hurry? Oh, we got fins again. You want to be in a hurry? You could literally get your hammer out, jump up, grab the boat, and dive down. No problems at all. It's a quick getaway. It's super cheap. It's definitely worth your time if you want to go to scrap piles by yourself out in the ocean and be kind of like low-key about it. But I think overall this is a good change for us. It adds some more elements to the game that we didn't have. I think this is a content push that was needed, and it shows a lot of promise for the future of Rust Console Edition. Please let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Let me know how you use it, and obviously, dude, make people mad on shore and run them towards the fishing village so the turrets kill them and you take their loot. That's what I like doing. I like, trolling people a little bit here and there. But, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Obviously, this is a little bit of a guide. I just wanted to give you some tips and tricks that I use the fishing villages for. I'll see you next video. Bye. All right, let's get back to the hut.